to get to that. Anyway, I'm talking lots, so I think it'd be better if I be quiet for a little while so we can do a practice together and have the experience of dropping in, pulling our attention back. Literally, sometimes in life, it's like we have to just get our attention, call it back, because the mind is just automatically going to throw itself out there again and again. And the beauty of music, actually, and chanting is that we don't have to effort so hard. We don't have to yank it. Music is just, it's like a flower that calls a bee. It just beckons us back gently. That's why music is so beautiful. It just like surrounds us and draws us in to our home in our heart. So let's do that now. Thanks so much for listening to all of this. It's a lot to kind of try to organize, all of the thoughts about this, because it's a huge subject and there's many, many different ways to look at it. And each point that I'm making, we could talk about for the whole session. These are huge subjects, just planting like tiny seeds for you to think about, to reflect on. So if you want to just let everything I said go, we're just going to take the next half an hour for those of you who want to stay to try to integrate all of this into something embodied and practical. It's very easy to talk about the stuff and just get really disembodied, with our mind, trying to analyze it, figure it all out, but we need to embody it and feel it somatically, So take a load off. We're just going to do a little meditation now. So if you want, you can close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. Just be at ease. Let all of these words just float away. Any words that you need will be there for you on the other side. And just start by becoming aware that you are here in whatever space you're in, and that we're all connected together. And bring your mind and body together in the same place. Become aware of whatever feelings or thoughts may be present for you from this conversation. What your thoughts and feelings are when it comes to jealousy. What is that trying to show you, to teach you? What are you really, really, really longing for? Underneath the surface desires, what are you really longing for? When we go on a journey, we wander all over the place. It's usually really comforting to come home to our own bed, to our own house, where we really feel we can just be ourselves and be at home. So when we return to ourselves, to our hearts, it's like taking such a load off and letting down our burdens and just relaxing and being present here. We don't need to be on the defense against life. What if your happiness, what if everything that you are looking for is already here inside you? That's what all of the great teachers have told us. So they must know something, since their wisdom has prevailed for thousands of years. So feel all of your energy coming back to you. Call your energy back. Call your attention back. And begin to fill yourself up with your own self, with your own awareness. And open to the possibility that there is so much more in this life, that there is so much more possible than your limited mind will allow you to believe. Our mind is very tiny because it stays in these loops of thought and keep us really small. But actually, consciousness is infinite. Possibilities are infinite in this life. So what if we could open up to that knowing and touch that infinite abundance of the universe? Bringing a quality of love and care and kindness to our own feelings of lack. We can ask that we have a transformation of consciousness, that those thoughts of lack through our own love will transform into something much more true. We are all endlessly powerful, endlessly possible, endlessly creative and unique. So I'm going to sing a mantra now. I'm going to sing a mantra, a prayer to Lakshmi, who is the goddess of abundance. She has no limits. She sees no limits. Consciousness is infinite. And so she is the one who blesses us with abundance. Shrim, Hrim, Shrim, Kamale, Kamalale, Prasinda, prasinda, Shrim, Hrim, Shrim, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Devi Namaha. Om Shri Hrim Shri Kamale Kamalale Prasinda Prasinda Shrim Hrim Shri Om Shri Mahalakshmi Devi Namaha. Om Shri Hrim Shri Kamale Kamale Prasinda Prasinda Shrim Hrim Shri Om Shri Mahalakshmi Devi Namaha. Breathe in love. Breathe out fear. Breathe in possibility. Breathe out lack. Breathe in trust. Breathe out control. Know that your life is sacred and unique. No one's life and no one will ever be like you. And the world needs you as you are. One of the best antidotes to jealousy is gratitude. To acknowledge all of the blessings that we have, something really powerful. Gratitude can sometimes become very cliche, but actually it's essential for our well-being, to help us to see rightly. So just take a moment, tune in, acknowledge all of the blessings in your life that maybe you've missed while you were looking outside. See all the blessings that life has given you, including a timeless happiness that is not dependent on any object. This happiness that is not dependent on any object is our true nature. Rumi said, there is no greater love than love with no object. And there's no greater happiness and peace than happiness and peace with no object. If we can connect to that peace in ourselves, it doesn't matter what anyone else does or what anyone else has, because our worth is not defined by things on the outside. Our true worth is indestructible, and it's just who we are. Even if you don't believe that, even if your mind is resistant, just let there be a crack in the armor, the possibility that that awareness may become deeper in you, may become more known. I'm going to sing a mantra now that is really, really, really beautiful. The meaning of the words. It means essentially, I am bliss. Just like that quote that I read you from Sadhguru, when he said, anybody who is not feeling blissful is actually ill. The key to transforming our jealousy is to reconnect with our own bliss and our own light. That is really what will help us the most. So the mantra Anandoham. Ananda is bliss. Anandoham. I am bliss. I am bliss. Anandoham. Our mind, our intellect doesn't believe that, right? We hear that, it's like, oh yeah. But actually, some part of us does know that. Some part of us does feel that. So this mantra, Sachara Chara Parapurna, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am Shiva. I am that completeness which prevails everywhere. I am bliss. It's really beautiful. So as I chant that, if you want to just let those words just wash over you, let that truth of those mantras awaken in you. Let's all connect to that. And if we were in touch with our own bliss, with our own joy, with our own peace, we wouldn't ever need to strip anybody else of theirs. We wouldn't even need to go looking in anyone else's life for anything, because what we would want and need would be right here. It actually is right here. So as we make that commitment to reconnect to that, it has effects in our whole life, positive effects. Sachara Chara Parapurna, Shivoham Shivoham, Nityanda Swarupam, Shivoham Shivoham. That's what I'm going to be chanting. Really, really beautiful. Sacharacara Parapurna Shivoham Shivoham Sacharacara Parapurna Shivoham Shivoham Nityananda Swarupa Shivoham Shivoham Nityananda Swarupa Shivoham Shivoham Sacharacara Parapurna Shivoham Shivoham Nityananda Swarupa Shivoham Shivoham Anandoham Anandoham Anandam Brahmanandam Anandoham Anandoham Anandam Brahmanandam Sacharacara Parapurna Shivoham Shivoham Sacharacara Parapurna Shivoham Shivoham Nityananda Swarupa Shivoham Shivoham Nityananda Swarupa Shivoham Shivoham Anandoham Anandoham Anandam Brahmanandam Anandoham Anandoham Anandam Brahmanandam Sacharacara Parapurna Shivoham Shivoham Nityananda Swarupa Shivoham Shivoham Sacharacara Parapurna Shivoham Shivoham Nityananda Swarupa Shivoham Shivoham Anandoham Anandam Brahmanandam Anandoham Anandoham Anandam Brahmanandam Sacharacara Parapurna Shivoham Shivoham Nityananda Swarupa Shivoham Shivoham Sacharacara Parapurna Shivoham Shivoham Nityananda Swarupa Shivoham Shivoham Anandoham Anandoham Anandam Brahmanandam Anandoham Anandoham Anandam Brahmanandam. Take a moment to think about these words. I am bliss, Anandoham. Just see if you can just connect to some little place in you or some big place in you that knows the truth of that. But if you're full within yourself, you don't need anything else. Sachara Parapurna Shivoham Shivoham Nityananda Swarupa Shivoham Shivoham Anandoham Anandoham Anandam Brahmanandam Anandoham Anandoham Anandam Brahmanandam Sachara Parapurna Shivoham Shivoham Nityananda Swarupa Shivoham Shivoham Anandoham Anandoham Anandam Anandam Anandoham Anandam Brahmanandam 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 Sachara Parapurna Shivoham Shivoham Nityananda Swarupa Shivoham Shivoham. Let's just take a few moments to be quiet and just sit with that. Anandoham. I am bliss, I am joy. May we all awaken to that knowing. Really experience it in an embodied way. I don't need anything out from outside. I'm not missing anything. I'm complete. I'd like to leave you with a quote from a beloved teacher of mine, Sri Ramana Maharshi. Maybe some of you know. This is a quote of his that is really beautiful and really well known, and I think it's so helpful. He says, "Whatever is destined not to happen will not happen. Try as you may. Whatever is destined to happen will happen. Do what you may to prevent it. This is certain. The best course, therefore, is to remain silent. Whatever is destined not to happen will not happen. Try as you may. Whatever is destined to happen will happen. Do what you may to prevent it. This is certain. The best course, therefore, is to remain silent." If we could all have that feeling of trust and surrender in our life, to trust that what is meant for us will come to us, that we can draw our attention back and really cultivate that sense of trust, then we can stop trying to manipulate the world and controlling the world, which just clenches our heart and makes us see the world through very jaded eyes and see one another through very jaded eyes. And really, in this crazy time in the world, we don't need more jadedness. We need love and compassion and to be able to see and understand one another and not get lost in all of the mirages and the illusions that are being fed to us, whether on social media or elsewhere. We need to meet one another as real human beings and not create these illusions and fantasies about other people's lives because they're not true. They're just not. If we have a human body, if we're here in this life, there is suffering that comes with it. That is just the fundamental Buddhist truth. Nobody escapes that. It doesn't matter how many things you may have. So it's so important to start, valuing the things that are timeless that can really make us make us happy, like this kind of connection where we're authentic with one another, where we're real, where we talk about these things, where we can learn to see ourselves with more loving eyes. That's, at least for me personally, that's what real happiness is. For me to know my worth, to feel that, to feel my value, my intrinsic value, and to be able to see other people's intrinsic value, that brings me a lot of happiness. I'm not really interested in wasting my precious energy of my life and time getting lost, in the illusions of my mind and getting lost in petty jealousies and gossiping and all of that. That just strips our life force. So let's all do the best we can, to really keep coming back again and again and again, coming back to our heart and finding peace there, and really with the hope and the prayer that our consciousness can shift more towards the awareness that so many of the great beings who've walked this world have embodied, that I am joy, I am bliss, anandoham, when we have that bliss and that joy, it just spills out of us and it's a benefit and blessing to the world. So to wrap it up, I know how the mind likes bullet points. Here are just a few little things to consider about jealousy. What to do. I'm learning all of this myself, by the way, so I'm sharing with you what I'm learning. 1, you have to acknowledge and accept the feeling. Don't reject it. Don't resist yourself. Just accept and look. Realize that it's your own creation, that this feeling of jealousy, nobody's making you have that. That's our own creation. Inquire, self-inquire. What are these feelings? What is the feeling and what are these feelings about? What are they trying to show me? What's at the root, the taproot? What am I being asked to look at? What is it trying to show me? Call your power back. Call your energy back. Shift your attention back to yourself. There's a million ways to do that. Chanting is one of them, but there's a billion ways that we can bring our attention back here, back home to ourselves. It's so helpful. Be proactive in your life, right? Instead of getting lost in other people's trips, be proactive. Ask yourself, what matters to you? What are your passions? What is your purpose? And pour your watering can water onto those flowers instead of someone else's garden. Water your own garden. Nurture that. That will fill you up. That will make you happy. Acknowledge your blessings. Acknowledge what you have been given. Feel that gratitude. Feel the sense that life is giving you. Whatever other people's lives may have, what is there with you? The more you focus on that, the more it amplifies. The more those blessings come. Let go of the fruits of your actions. I didn't talk about that very much, but karma yoga is the path of action, and it's a path of letting go of the fruits of our action. So we do our work, we do what we need to do, and then we let go of the outcome. Going back to that quote from Ramana, whatever is destined to happen, let us trust that and surrender the outcome. That attitude can also be really liberating. I make my efforts and then I have to let go. Whatever's meant to happen will happen. I don't need to try to like pull somebody back from what their path is to make mine okay. I can let everyone be free and focus on that within myself. Practice generosity and metta and wish others well. Really wish others well. Begin by wishing yourself well. May I be happy. May I love myself. May I know my value. And then extend that out if there's somebody that you feel jealous towards. Open your heart little by little. Try to send that goodness their way. May you be happy. May you be successful. May you thrive. May you have love. Let's those knots in our heart, they hurt us. So you gotta untie them gently and wish well, wish goodness for others. And then finally, anandoham, cultivate your bliss, your joy. What makes you happy? I used to really feel like, God, there's so much suffering in this world. How can I be happy? And how can I focus on my own bliss and joy when there's incredible suffering in this world? But the times that I've spent with amazing spiritual masters, or even just looking at like iconography of, bodhisattvas or something like that, they're in bliss. Look, when you see His Holiness the Dalai Lama, he is always laughing. His laughter is so great. It's so beautiful and joyful. Yet he's facing incredible suffering every day. People are coming to him constantly with suffering, and yet he has so much joy. And that joy that just spills out of him and it makes other people happy. So that his own joy is medicine for the world, and our own joy is medicine for ourselves and for the world. So those are just a few thoughts. And the parting one is the reiteration of Sadhguru's, because it's just too great. Anybody who is not feeling blissful is actually ill. So let's all be well and focus on cultivating our own bliss and really trusting and trying to see the good in others. Try to see, that everyone in this world has crosses to bear of some kind. And when we only focus on one little thing, we get lost in that. And we assume that they have something we can't have. We're all in this human predicament together. So let's end with Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and peaceful, which I like to chant at the end of my programs 9 times. And we'll just dedicate the merit of our session, whatever goodness may have come out of this conversation, to the whole world, that everyone may be happy and free from jealousy. That's the prayer. Thank you so much. Thank you so, so much. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here, your patience and your interest. And I just so appreciate you and being able to share these subjects that I'm thinking about and learning about and falling on my face with and getting up. And that's what it's about. Just fall down and get up. You just keep doing it. And there's nothing wrong with anyone. We're just learning. But I really love and appreciate you all so, so much. Um, thank you. It just, as I was chanting out at the end, I just kind of felt like I was going to cry for a minute because I just felt like that wish that I just wish that jealousy there, if we could just see rightly, it would be so great because seeing as we do with our misperceptions causes us all so much suffering, pain, and separation, that sucks. I want so much a world where we can really meet each other in our humanity with love. So my next session is coming up on December 19th, and that is my quarterly water ritual for the equinox and solstice. So this will be the winter solstice, the darkest day of the year, the shortest day of the year for us in the northern hemisphere, and those of you in the southern hemisphere, the longest day of the year, the lightest day of the year. So we'll be honoring that with a water ritual, and I'm really looking forward to that. I love to just have that rhythm of being aware of the seasons and aware of just what's happening in the cosmos because we are a part of that. So it's a beautiful thing to have like a rhythm where we can acknowledge that and honor it, a few times a year. So you're all welcome to join. And I have a circle on the app called Friends of Carrie, which you're more than welcome to join. And just a word about that, the circles, well, they're called groups now, but it's so interesting. I thought about just doing a session about circles, just in general. I mean, about Sangha, because I think that in itself is a really fascinating subject. And it's kind of an unusual experiment to have like this virtual group, a virtual place where people can meet when we haven't met in person, and what it may bring up, for people when we're in a space with others. I know for myself, if I were to join a circle, I think I would feel really shy because I am just shy by nature. I probably wouldn't ever want to say anything. I probably would just be a silent observer, and which is fine. But it's just interesting to see what feelings come up when it comes to group dynamics. Do we feel like we belong? Do we feel like an outsider? Do we feel like our voice matters? That it doesn't matter? That all of these different things, it's so tender, And so I feel like the circles, we have experience with circle. I just think in general, it's really interesting to um, use it as a mirror for learning about ourselves. So if you do join the circle and you're new there, just want you to know that you're really welcome. And of course, there's people who've been in that circle for a while who know each other, but please know that it's just wide open and everyone is welcome. It's just an ongoing flow, and it's kind of an experiment. It's just an unusual way of gathering together. So, and I have a lot of gratitude to Karen, who started the circle, and to all of the amazing admins who are running meditations all the time, and everybody in there who's sharing their wisdom, and the people who were there in silence, and the people who were there vocally. It's really beautiful, very moving to see how people can really try to focus on the best in one another, bring out the best in each other, and you know learn from all around the world. Well, focus on what matters, compassion, and we can learn about our own mind, our own cynicism as well. When you read things in the circle, what thoughts are you having about it? Usually those things say more about us than the other. So anyway, so much love and thank you. Oh, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I regularly cry during meditation. I think crying itself is a meditation, because when we cry, it really gathers our mind at a point and it really brings us into the moment. It's a concentrated form of presence, really, in a way. um, those tears, it's good to let them flow. So thank you. And just, yeah, again, just I don't have words for my gratitude to all of you. It just means so much to me that you just show up, and thank you for your donations, and just, yeah, just thank you. So I love you all too. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's also release. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Chantal, I love that photo of you, that little baby photo. All right. Bye bye, y'all. I'll see you soon. Friends of Carrie. You can find it